Call halal, Yahabashim Yahshua, Baharakal Kadash, Yahabashim Yahshua, Bahashim Kadash, Barakathum. Say double honor to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Also blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. Today's lesson is going over acquire wisdom, young man. And this lesson is, of course, how to acquire wisdom, but more directed towards the younger brothers within this truth. From me coming up into this truth and seeing younger people, from the bug outs to, younger brothers that, seem to struggle. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that's congruent with all this is pride, okay? As the scriptures say, pride goes before destruction. And you're not humbling yourself and being willing to ask questions, willing to put yourself in an environment, challenging yourself, want to be the center of attention, the entitlement of really just entitlement period. These things slow you down, okay? You can see from the younger guys, they think they see where, the elders are, not only the elders, but older high-ranking men such as even Nate. I'm not even going to, be a hater, you know what I'm saying? But just keeping it real, from the Nates, Johannes, and different guys of different factors, the OGs, for lack of better words, and GMS primarily, right? You see these men and you feel like, oh, I can do that too. But you don't take into account of their labors, Now speaking directly, I'm just keeping it fair, because they paved the way, same way as Saul paved the way. So you can't take away what the Lord anointed them to do, as far as the good that they've done, But just getting into, younger kids within this truth. Which I'm young myself. I just consider myself a teenager, a young adult right now. You know what I'm saying? Compared to just being a just pure novice, a pure child. And that has nothing to do with, this is another thing. It has nothing to do with information. Information, well, I can't say it has nothing to do. Let me correct myself. It's not solely based off of information. Meaning, this is not about how you can binge watch hella videos and read and take all your notes and lay everything out. Let's see here, because we've been bringing the scripture out a lot, so we're gonna bring it out again. All right. Let's see here. So I can spelling it wrong. Satan, man. So we're gonna go into let's see here. We're gonna go into Sirach chapter 34, verse 10. All right. We're actually going to back it up to verse 9, okay? It says, a man that have traveled knoweth many things, and he that have much experience would declare his wisdom, okay? He that have no experience knoweth little, but he that traveleth is full of prudence. Because prudence is like one of the key elements to being within this ministry. Okay, so, well, I would say not being in this ministry, that's one of the benchmarks to wisdom. because you got knowledge, you got wisdom, you got understanding. Knowledge is knowing what to do, how to write your letters. Wisdom is knowing how to write the letters, actually, writing them yourself. And the understanding is knowing why you're writing these letters, why you're putting these words together, and what the words can do and things like that, okay? When you go into prudence as a noun in etymology, it says intelligence, discretion, foresight, wisdom to see what is suitable or profitable. Also, one of our 4 cardinal virtues, wisdom to see what is virtuous. So that's a perfect way to explain, wisdom in an account, because as the scriptures say, all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. Just because you do it, just because you can do it, don't make it right. And wisdom will let you know. But the only way, for the most part, is for you to gain wisdom is there's 2 ways for you to experience. As they say, experience is the best teacher. Experience is the father of wisdom, right? And then the other is listening to somebody that has the experience. That's why it's telling you about the man that traveleth, because that man that traveleth been a long way. When he comes back and he tells you, look, I wouldn't do that, I'll do it like this. Pride to tell you, case scenario, you might have a brother that's trying to figure out a solution to a problem. He's thinking on it, came up with a decent plan, but the man that traveleth walks upon him, sees this problem, here's a solution, and then say, I wouldn't do that, I'll do this. The man with the problem, full of pride, says, oh no, I'm doing this because of that. I'm doing this because of pretty much justifying their faulty plan by explaining. Explaining things do not justify nothing. That's an FYI, all right? It's good to open your spirit up, because as the scriptures say, in the same chapter, you have a counselor of 1,000, friends of 1,000, but one counselor. So when you have that one counselor, which could be a mentor, and that one counselor don't have to be a specific counselor, a counselor to everything. You can have, in combat, I'm in combat, I have a counselor. You may have a striking coach, you may have a grappling coach, you may have a strength and conditioning coach. So you don't have to, when it says have one counselor, it doesn't mean just period, okay? So when you got somebody that is, if you're struggling with a situation where you need to be gentle, you call somebody with a gentle spirit, man. Or you call somebody that's pretty much fair and balanced in it, that's going to give you not the answer you want, but the answer you need. Because as the scriptures say, counsel with a godly man who is known to keep the law. All right. Now we're as men of the Lord, Salakia, I don't know how this sound is coming across. It's a little bit windy. But as men of the Lord, we try our best to give sound judgment. FYI, to the men of the Lord, the younger men, look, you have to give sound judgment. You can't give no judgment based off of solely because of your experience. What I mean by that is I can do it, you can do it too. You know what I'm saying? Unless they can do it. But some people don't have the mind. Some people don't have the will, and you have to kind of guide them to that, but you can't pretty much say, some brothers are weak to things that you're strong against. And you can't just expect them, well, I did it like this, so you do it like that. But you can tell them, look, if it's like about women, this is my experience. Some brothers are weaker to women, or some brothers just don't want a woman. And that's not no sign of no punk assness or anything like that. Well, just being foolish behind women is. But what I mean is that if you want a woman, you like to deal with women, and you can't help yourself, that's not a bad thing, because the scriptures say if you burn and lust towards a virgin, hey, marry her, at least you sin, you defraud yourself. So why would the scripture say something like that if that's the case? You know what I'm saying? Pretty much everybody has a desire, a level of desire. Some brothers want women, some brothers want more women than others. The whole point is don't be out here selling your car, missing camp behind a woman. You know what I'm saying? Now that's intolerable, okay? So everybody have their experiences. Everybody have what they're weak at, what they're strong at. And when you give advice, it has to be for the conclusion of the matter. So that's what I mean by when you're in a position as a man of the Lord, you know, you're in a position to give sound advice, because us as men of the Lord, we are the leaders of the world. You know what I'm saying? We are the leaders of the spiritual realm, not the spiritual realm, but the spiritual congregation. You know, those who believe in the Most High, those who are looking spiritually for the Most High and trying to find their way to Him. We are that light that's set up on the hill, okay? So when people come up to us, we're representing that light, which is Yahweh Shai, and we're not to be mingling the scriptures because we're taking it personal because you want some box, so you're willing to tell her anything she wants. You hate the so-called white man so much, but you don't care about sin so much, so you willing to let people have long hair, but as long as they hate Esau, you good. You know what I'm saying? No, you have to give sound judgment and have sound doctrine, okay? So I just want to put that FYI out there, you know. This ain't no shot taking, it's just putting out the truth, okay? I ain't worried about it either way, but I just want to put out the truth, you know. Let's see here. We'll go back to Sirach chapter 6. All right. We're going to start at verse 10. Or, well, let's see here. All right. We're going to start at Sirach chapter 6, verse 18. Salaki for the delay. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up. It's telling you straight out the gate. You know, some people aren't young when they come in. You know, I ain't talking about I'm talking about 8 and 9 and 10. Some people in their 20s, their 30s. But what another angle you can look at this when it's talking about from the youth up is when you first come in. All right. Some people come in expecting entertainment. They're expecting action. And they don't be moved unless it's entertainment. Somebody getting shot up, somebody getting yelled at, you know, somebody's getting their karma. Instead of digging into these deep sayings, wondering why somebody that's so profound in the spirit is so humble. How they're so disciplined with so much, or how they're disciplined with so little, how they're happy with so little. You know, these are the things that come from men that travel, okay? And you should be kind of attentive to it, you know? So it says, my son, gather instruction from thy youth up. So shalt thou find wisdom to thy old age. You got to want this continuously. It says from the youth up, and then you shall find it till your old age. Meaning you're continuously increasing in wisdom. It's not like, I read it, or I know about that. There's always something more to what meets the eye when dealing with wisdom. You know what I'm saying? You got tons of, layers to an onion, okay? It says, verse 19, it says, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth. What is that talking about? You got to put in work. You're not going to just be able to Google everything. You're not just going to be able to, how I was taught and brought up, the brother's not in the truth anymore. Well, he is not in the truth, but the person that trained me up when I was reading and watching apostles' lessons and things like that, I'm taking my notes. And I was very fervent on what I read and I believed, but I didn't have the understanding. So something like an unclean animal, such as a dog, I'm willing to kick the damn dog out the house, you know. And I just took everything just straight to it without the experience or really going through things. But long story short, when I had those decisions, I always called my elders, or my elder at that time. I call my elder still to this day. And I asked my questions, man. Okay? I don't have no pride, you know, because pride could develop in many ways. At an older age, pride can develop to where you don't want nobody to know that you don't know something, that you feel that you're supposed to know, so you act like you know it instead of asking a question to get it resolved. You know, and going through that embarrassment, going through that, oh, you don't know this phase, or that to be looked down upon. All right? When at the end of the day, it's not about that. Okay? And younger people, again, they just feel like they have that entitlement. Well, I woke up, so you got to tell me. You know what I'm saying? You got to, you know, you owe me this. It's like, nah, you should be appreciative. Everybody should be appreciative. Elders should be appreciative to be in a position that they're in. When I'm saying elders, I'm not talking about my elder, because I'm not in a position to talk to somebody that's above my rank like that. What I'm saying is that me as an elder, I have, from my experience, I have to elder to the people that I'm around, to be specific. But I have to be appreciative to the position that I am, to much is given, as much is required, and, you know, be ready to help people, be ready to give, be ready to be just, because people are relying on that judgment. And if I were to do things out of spite, out of anger, out of emotion, that can, you know, you'll know a king by his people type of deal, right? So it's very important, you know, for us to understand that as, you know, the elders and then the younger, you know, to understand that, yeah, you woke up and you're in this truth and you're learning, but ain't nobody about to call you and blow your phone up and you're expecting, because you're the new guy, to get all this attention. You know, it's too much going on. Okay? It says, come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. So, yeah, you got to dig, you got to search, you got to ask questions, you got to do that. And eventually, you will get your answers. I have plenty of people, when they first start out in the truth and say, I don't know how to read the Bible, what do I do? It says, hey, I always tell them, read the 5 books, it's like the books of Moses. And in that regard, that should help you pretty much, you know what I'm saying, get your bearings. You know what I'm saying? So that normally helps people in their responses. Normally that well, I haven't read the Bible before, I don't know. Like, bro, you're not gonna get everything in one whop. You're not gonna read everything and just get it. But do something, you're gonna get something. Like it read earlier in the scripture, in this chapter, it says, get wisdom in thy youth until your old age. So you're still gonna be gaining, right? Verse 21, it says, she will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from her ere it be long. What does that mean? That people pretty much can't take that pressure, man, of not knowing, of failure, of, you know, that struggle to gain wisdom, bro. It's never a easy path. It's a path of unknown uncertainty. And you got to have a tenacious attitude and a mental fortitude, a discipline to obtain it. Because no matter what you do, you're still going to be able to do it. It's simple as jump a rope. When you first grab them ropes, you don't know what you're doing. You clunking, you flat-footed, and then, you know, and then you start hitting yourself, and, you know what I'm saying, a rope whapping you up. And then you just keep coming and keep coming. Eventually, you just jump a rope like a pro, and you start doing your research. You say, oh, I know you could do this. I know you could do that with a rope. I know you could do this with a rope. And then you increase. You can't just sit here. For one, get wrapped up and then, man, you slamming a rope and you getting mad and swinging at the air and shit. Then you can't just jump rope and then you jump rope and you mastered that one form and then you just good. You don't want to do no crisscross, no double ups. You know what I'm saying? Not one leg up. You're not trying to advance whatever you have as the scriptures go into the talent, right? If you're in the mindset of accomplishing something, right? What I mean is your mindset of accomplishing something to accomplish the next thing until, you know, you have to be productive until you die. Because the moment you go somewhere and you do something and you feel like, okay, I completed, I'm done, it's going to feel like a task to get up and do something else. And it's going to feel like a task to get up and do something else. It's just the same as being wrong, right? Being unsuccessful, and struggling at something, not knowing something. As soon as you learn and you know it, the bulk of young brothers want to sit down and be like, okay, I did it. Yeah, but that's not the end. So when somebody comes and say you did this wrong too, now you getting mad because you're leisuring in the victory. If you like, okay, I did this wrong, now what else I got wrong? You fix that, now what else I got wrong? You fix that, now what else I got wrong? You fix that until you die. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the mentality you should have, because this is not a place that we need to be leisuring in our victories, okay? Verse 22 says, for wisdom is according to her name. Yeah, and she is not manifest unto many. Give ear, my son. Receive my advice and refuse not my counsel. Yeah, that's again, that counseling is very important, man. And we have call law Yabashimi Al-Shai, we have mighty men set about us, round about us, that's willing to give us these scriptures and this counsel at the click of a button. At the click of a button. So if you're not in these social groups and you feel like you're too busy, you're just inconsiderate of what the Lord's providing. Because I'm gonna just say it straight, because Elijah Elisha, slacking from saying it wrong, felt he was alone, man. You know, and he cried to the Lord. You know, and the Lord told him that, there's men that haven't bowed their knee to the image of Baal. You know, pretty much that there's men out here doing the work the same as you, man. So this man wanted company. And this is an honorable man. This is a great man amongst Israel. And for you to believe that you don't need nobody, that lone wolf mentality, man, to put it frankly, you're a piece of shit, man. Because people need you, and what pretty much, I'm speaking for myself, I need the brothers, as well as I have something to offer to the brothers. And if you ever get in a mindset to where I could do this on my own, and this, you a piece of shit, bro. You need to get your shit together. Because everybody got something that they can offer to us as individuals, and then we have things that we can offer to brothers, right? And you have to be confident in both. You have to be confident looking at a brother like, okay, I can learn something from this brother, or humble enough to say I learned something from this brother, and confident enough to, to shed your light to brothers. Don't be arrogant. Don't be envious. Which arrogant and what I mean by envious is pretty much jealous. You see somebody doing something, and you're trying to overshadow what they're doing with your information, right? So if somebody, I got some new shoes, or I know somebody got to give you that for half the price, and like you just trying to overshadow, don't be that guy, right? But let's continue in the subject at hand. All right, I'll be hearing nothing all day until start doing the lesson. It says, and put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chain. Right? The scripture's telling you what to be locked in to you're stuck. You're stuck on being a student. Ain't no taking no break and saying, okay, now let me chill. Okay? Bow down thy shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. And it ain't talking about, oh, you just got all this knowledge and the weight of the world is on your shoulders. No, it's talking about getting it. Like getting into that element of reading, constantly reading and educating yourself all over, right? It's like I was, speaking to someone, and I was telling them, look, man, you can do this audio book deal, and you can, listen to books, and the person immediately like, well, I don't do that. Like, that's your problem. That's not, somebody's offering you wisdom, somebody's giving you something, and it's not like you're just this heavy reader, but then somebody offered, and you immediately give a reason as to why you can't accomplish this, instead of opening your ears up, giving it a try, to not like somebody telling you to do something that will take away from you is increasing. But Jake just have this pride that they either don't want to be told nothing, they don't want to be saying, they want to say that somebody else did it for them, or they don't want to give somebody the credit. They want to be the center of attention in that Jezebel spirit, man. Instead of being attentive to the cause, which is being wise enough and prudent enough to be able to teach and edify the elect, man, and as well as carry yourself as a man of the Lord virtuously. Okay? It says, verse 6, it says, come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. So when the true wisdom mainly comes from the scriptures, right? But then you got, the OGs, you got your elders, like our apostles, we got elders, brothers in the camp, you know what I'm saying, the regional elders, you got elders that have been in the game for a long time, and you got these men. So it says, do what? Come unto her with thy whole heart, meaning you're not asking a question to buck up against it. When somebody give you a breakdown, you're giving it to them, or you're asking a question with an open heart, meaning you're receiving what that person is saying. You're not trying to question or be combatant to it and acting like you're submissive. And a lot of women are renowned for that, man. Okay, I got a question. And you're combating. You're not asking a question of productivity. You're asking a question of scrutiny and scrutinizing. Like the scriptures say, and until a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter. In the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 1st chapter. Okay? It tells you that. So if you're already combating, what it says, unto the pure all things are pure, unto the defiled and unbelieving there is nothing pure. So if you're coming with a scrutinizing mind, you're not going to understand it. And I'll tell you this to anybody that's like that, just go to something that you believe. Don't come somewhere and try to micromanage or try to twist or try to make it to where you can accept it. Just go somewhere you can accept it. If you want to be a wild ass nigga, go over there. But don't come into a place of peace and try to shake it up, because it's not, you want the salvation, but you don't want the lifestyle it takes to get the salvation. So you're scrutinizing everything. Just go and be a nigga and accept your fate, man. You can't have both, and nobody's that important to sit there and try to micromanage something that the Lord established. Okay? Verse 27, it says, search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. Search and seek. Not sitting there waiting on your elder to tell you something. Not sitting there waiting on your elder to tell you something. From brothers that are elders and brothers that are young. You're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, like Apostle Hart said, and this is something that struck me deeply to make sure I wasn't this guy when he first said, being a bump on the log. And then he was like, something that was like, dang, yeah, I definitely won't be that person. And he was like, some of you niggas know how to just show up. Some people just know how to show up. They camp time, they come up to camp and get this precept. You know how to get the precept. But then when it comes time for you to offer your light, you have nothing. You have nothing to offer. You don't communicate. You don't call. You don't, share your ideas. You don't share what's interesting to you. If anything is interesting to you, you're just in this box. All right. And then if you have information, you're just slutting it around, making people angry and upset. As I learned from Zaquan Yadi, and we was talking about a long time ago, it's like a month ago, and we we're just speaking on, everything ain't for everybody, even if it's right. Even if you're showing somebody how to manage their house as far as finances and things like that, or managing their body and their diet, it's just not, you can't make it a doctrine and force that wisdom on people. Even if it's highly useful, you tell them something, look, you need to drink more water, run a bit more, and the brother like, I'd rather just lift weights. It's like, all right. But what's wrong is when you sitting there like, no, brother, you need to do this, and you getting all angry with them. Hey, man, you planted the seed, man. The Most High is going to give the increase, right? It says, it's like I'm looking at this update with this hurricane. Hey, prayers up to the brothers, Yahweh Shemal Shah, Baba Koshah, protect the Akim in the Louisiana area from that hurricane, man. Just putting up the prayer off the rip, man. It says, search and seek, and she shall be made known unto all. It's like unto thee, and when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. So you gotta want this wisdom, man. It's not gonna just come in your lap because, I woke up, I'm an Israelite, a salute, and then wisdom just pop in your lap, bro. Like, you're not special like that. You gotta show that you want this, man. Right? Wisdom is in this reference, is often referenced as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because women are known for adding unto you. They're helpmeets. They add unto the man. Okay? So if the Lord calls you, wisdom is something that will add unto you. As Solomon asked, when the Lord called Solomon is the device, okay, the conduit, and the first thing he prayed for, which is always something that I bring up, is he prayed for the wisdom to guide the people. All right? Of course, Solomon was important, but the add-on, the attachment, the perk, if you play Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying, was him getting that wisdom to guide the people, man. All right? Which shows how important it is. So, going back to his relativity as a woman, the vibration of wisdom being relative to a woman is because it's like a relationship, and it's also an add-on to who you are. Okay? Now, once it goes into a relationship, you get shorty number, you lay with her. You know what I'm saying? You lay with her. You know what I'm saying? You humble her. And then you just don't do the things that you did to acquire her. What you think she gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at wisdom like a relationship, man. You got to be excited. Everything she do, it looks good, man. You got to be in love with wisdom, man. All right? Because just because you got her, you smashed, you know what I'm saying, you humbled her, you see the glow in her eyes, she's making you happy every day, and then you just shut down and don't do the things, and you expect, because you feel entitled, that person should deal with you how you want to be dealt with. And then when that person start reacting, you say, well, you start getting attitudes and asking what the problem, or they're complaining and not nagging, but you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And that's how wisdom is. If you got wisdom, you came to this truth, you're an Israelite, okay, cool, you know how to carry yourself a certain way, and then you just stop. You start going on your personal leisures. Then you're wondering why you're doing dumb stuff. You're making bad decisions. And now you're getting mad and you want to try to question the truth or question you don't know or frustrated at yourself. And you got to attend to wisdom constantly, man. Okay? It's like a relationship for a man and a woman. The same thing, man. Okay? Verse 28, it says, For at the last thou shalt find rest, and thou shalt be turned to thy joy. Then shall her fetters be as a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. You see how you become bound to inquiring and listening, going to the elders, sitting there listening to their you getting chewed out or admonished or edified or whatever. You're supposed to be excited. You keep coming back, man. And eventually them talks, them admonishments turn into talks. Then you get that respect that you feel you deserve, man. But that's not what it's about, of course. But that's how you get it. Not by, somebody say you wrong. Oh no, I did it like this because this was that. No, that's not how you get it, man. By trying to talk your way into existence. You have to establish your way into existence by your actions. Right? Verse 30 says, For there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace. Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou wilt be prudent. If you want it, you're going to get it. And if you apply yourself, you will be successful. If you just show up, that's not being willing. All right? You're supposed to embrace a role like an actor, man. Of course, we're not acting, but you're supposed to embrace a role. You know what I'm saying? If you're a sign holder, you're a speaker, you're looking at oration, you're looking at voice projection, you're looking at, you know what I'm saying, you're getting your reading up, you're getting in league with the person that's speaking, and you're watching their videos. It's just like a quarterback wide receiver relationship. Yeah, you may go and run the routes on your own as a wide receiver, but it's different when you're doing it with the quarterback, man, and developing that chemistry in that relationship. So that's what I mean by assigning yourself to the role, being a man of the Lord. All right, even though it's a real life thing, but you gotta dive into this role, man. You gotta dive into it all the way. Get into character, man. Heath Ledger type shit, man. Okay? It says, if thou love her, if thou love to her, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. It ain't talking about just listening and not saying nothing. It's talking about actually considering as you're hearing and listening, like, okay, I see what, okay, let me listen. Not listen to respond, to defend yourself, but listen to inquire. Okay? Verse 34, stand in the multitude of elders and cleave unto him that is wise. And that's why I said in the beginning that this is mainly for the younger brothers, because again, that entitlement to feel like, okay, the elder's supposed to call me. I'm just waiting on you to tell me something. No, you're supposed to be coming up. You're supposed to be getting on these elders' nerves by calling them so much. I'm not encouraging you to do it, but that's what you should be doing, man. I got a question. Not no bullshit, rinky-dink question. You talking about, is it okay to eat this and that? It's like, bro, come with something definitive, ground shaking. All right. It's like, appreciate these avenues. Again, you, all of us, we got brothers all around us that know so much. And for you to feel like you don't got nothing to offer, you know so much. And for you to feel like you have nothing to offer or you don't want to tell nobody nothing, you're being selfish because you're worried about yourself and how people will view you over the information that you could give to somebody because your lack of confidence. And then if you feel like you don't got to listen to nobody, you just you arrogant as hell, man. You know, I don't need nobody. I got this by myself type spirit, man. You arrogant as hell, man. We need you. You supposed to be so hungry for this. You wanna squeeze blood out of stone, man. You got thousands of brothers out here with countless amount of information. And one question, I be on the WhatsApp, man. One question, man, you'll see everybody coming. Boom, precept, link, precept, link. And you would just pop it up. Love y'all brothers. Hey, man, come on, man. Like, show some love, man. Use these avenues. Like, brothers are a walking encyclopedia. You better use it, because these avenues won't be alive too long, man. Okay? Hey, look. Verse 35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. If thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. You see, like, you taking the paint off that John from you stepping up, and I'm not addressing them, but you're approaching. You need questions, you need answers. You're constantly learning. You constantly want it. Okay. Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thy heart and give thee wisdom at thy own desires. So if you're constantly meditating on it, if you want it and you do the things to give that, then you'll get it. If you sitting there saying because we want a lot of things, or we think we want a lot of things, but you're not willing to do the things that it takes to get what you want. I'll give an example, and it's not a shot at this said group. Women want a certain man, but they're not willing to be submissive to get that man, because that's most likely the case with the men that they want. Like this thing going around with the high value woman, high value man, and the high value, so-called high value women and so-called high value man, the high value women realizing that the high value men don't want them like that. You know, because they with their resource, which is the relationship, they want a submissive woman that'll cook, that'll be there to be a woman. And these women are getting old and with these careers, and their biological clock is ticking, and they're realizing, oh shit, I can't get the man that I want because you never want to submit. You never want to do what it takes, but the whole time I want a good man. I want this, but you're not willing to do what it takes to get it. And that's to every genre. If you want wisdom, you should never be getting pissed off when you're getting admonished. If you want wisdom, some people just expect it to be put in them like the Matrix, man. If you knew what the Lord was going to put you through to get where you got to go, half of us wouldn't take it, man. You know, this ain't no magic. This ain't no vending machine. When you approach and you ask for wisdom, you pray for the strength, pray for the diligence, pray for the patience to learn from every lesson that you get, man. You know, don't sit there and cry about being wrong. It ain't about being wrong or being right. It's about getting it right. Okay? It's about getting it right, because this is life. Nobody got life figured out. So how the fuck you gonna walk through life and get everything right, man? So why are you so moved and twisted by this deal? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever lived consciously and self-aware twice. There's reincarnation, but I mean is like you died and you came back and you pretty much mentally, you know everything. You came out the womb, okay, on with a new body, knowing everything you knew before. Nobody has that, right? So that means every time you cut, as the scriptures say, you don't remember the former things in the book of Ecclesiastes. You know what I'm saying? There's no remembrance of the former things. So when you come in this new body and you born again, you figuring out life. So why is it such a big deal whether you get things wrong or right when you trying to figure something out that you never did before. You see, like really think about that. So why are you panicking about trying to figure out life? All right? What you should do is do your studies the best you can, and then do it the best way you know how. And then when you get the results, if you're not satisfied with that result, go back, rethink to get the better result, and keep doing it, and keep going back to the drawing board, rethink, and then go back and do it until you get the results that you want. Okay? That's how wisdom works. It don't work by, oh, I failed, now I'm about to abandon this. Okay? There's been plenty of times I've been out there teaching and I didn't get the results that I wanted. I didn't break nothing down wrong. I didn't do anything like that, right? But I'm on the highway. It's like I ain't want to be here arguing with this person for hours and there's other people talking. So I had to go rewatch my lessons and sit there and say, okay, this was my moment to not do this. I could have did it right there. Then I go back out on the highways, and then I speak, and then whenever that situation comes again, I'm ready. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Didn't hit me. I kind of got it. I got it better. But if I eliminate this, that's, and that, okay, boom. Okay, let me stick on the subject. I come out, then you make the adjustment. Then that's comes from a man that traveleth, that been through it. But the only way you're gonna travel is by putting your feet to the pavement, man. Don't be afraid of failure so much that you're not willing to set your feet to the pavement. I know we're out here to win, but don't get caught up into that winning mentality, into that Floyd Mayweather winning type of mentality, to where you're not willing to take a chance of a loss in order to win. You see everybody, oh, we're winning, and now you're scared to do anything that may cause you to lose. So you don't even want to win no more. You're just satisfied with the little bit that you have that you won. The real winners done lost a lot. They done lost a lot, man. Some people some people, this is a rare case. You can't live off rare cases, man. And I'm not giving an example of spirituality to where I am, but it's not like what we're living off here. But like I said, with Floyd Mayweather, Lomachenko, Mike Tyson, these people lost before. They went, Floyd Mayweather lost the Olympics. Lomachenko lost some amateur fights. Tyson lost some amateur fights. It's about getting back up. Nobody don't see them fights that they lost. Nobody see how they got their behind handed to them in sparring. Because you don't just come out the gate kicking everybody's ass, man. And that's how it is in this truth. You're not going to come out the gate kicking Satan's ass left and right and walking them up the street. You're going to lose some of the matches, man. There's nothing to panic over. You never fought Satan consciously aware before. This is your new body, new life, right? So when Satan beats you up, you go back to the drawing board, rethink, see what you did wrong. Don't blame nobody else, and use that and get out of it. And then when you master that, you share that light with other brothers, man. All right? But to brothers that sharing the light, man, hey, you gotta, I just suggest be patient, man, because everything ain't for everybody. I had to learn that the hard way, that initiative sometimes can be a bad thing, because you could be giving your all to somebody and they don't even want it, going back to casting your pearl to swine. So you have to, if you're the giver of wisdom, you have to be prudent to realize if that person's ready for that information that you're about to give them, whether they need it or not. Because if they don't want it, they're not going to take it. They're going to throw it away. They ain't going to do nothing but piss you off, right? And the person that is in need of wisdom, you should be doing every single thing that's within your power to acquire that wisdom. And it's too many avenues. You got WhatsApp, you got the Polo, you got GroupMe, you got phones, you got Google, YouTube, you got libraries. There's no way that you shouldn't be able to increase in wisdom. And then I didn't, on some simple shit. You brothers that are just showing up, you're gonna be found out, man. So just all you gotta do is get off your hind part, have confidence. You're here. You've crossed the line. You're teaching. You got a Hebrew name. You're here. Project yourself. And when you get it wrong, fix it. Project yourself. When you get it wrong, fix it. Project yourself. If you get it right, don't gloat. Don't sit there and try to put somebody out. This is what I do. No. Okay, I got that right, but let me see what else I can fix. All right? No man strive for the master except he strive lawfully. Okay? So hopefully this is edifying. With that being said, I want to say, call Lord Yabashimi Ashai, Barakah Kadash, the honest high apostles who are elders who rule well. Blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth sincerity. Shalom.